What would your kid say to comments like this?
He is just another illegal immigrant.
I think Elijah just doesn't look smart.
Racial stereotypes, ethnic and religious intolerance. Tonight, courageous parents let their kids join a Dateline experiment to find out how they would handle situations involving discrimination.
Wow.
They watch as their kids judge a quiz show.
Nitrogen.
That's correct.
And singing contests.
You and me together.
Would their teens stand up to this kind of peer pressure?
Her dad could be a terrorist.
Or this?
He looks
like a gang, maybe involved in drugs. We don't know what he's doing.
probably doing drugs right now.
Tough and important lessons learned by parents
I would look them in the eye and say, what exactly do you mean by that?
and their kids.
I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
I'm really not like that.
You stood up there, buddy.
Natalie Morales with My Kid Would Never Do That. Welcome to Dateline, everybody. I'm Lester Holt. We've all tried to teach our children prejudice and intolerance are wrong. But would they know what to do when faced with a situation involving discrimination? Natalie Morales joins us now as we continue our special series on how our children sometimes behave when we're not around.
That's
Natalie?
right, Lester. Well, you may think your child would never discriminate against anyone. As you're about to see, we asked some brave parents to help us with an experiment to find out. And we've got to give our parents a lot of credit. They agreed to allow their kids to be placed in what could be difficult situations in the hope that their families and the rest of us might learn something.
Fitting in among the cliques and crowds at school can be rough on any teenager. But what if there is something else to make a kid feel like the odd man out?
So I was bullied for my race.
As soon as they found out that I was like Muslim, they'd be like, oh, so you're a terrorist?
When I hear jokes about Hispanics, being immigrants, I'm angered by it.
He told me that I need to go back to the cotton picking fields where I belong.
This generation of young people is the most diverse in our nation's history, and in many ways the most tolerant too. But from subtle stereotypes that divide to bullying because of race, kids tell us discrimination still exists.
Do you have your working papers?
It just destroyed me. I felt weak.
So how do we raise children who would never discriminate? Turns out it may be a lot more complicated than just telling them to treat everyone equally. Tonight, with the help of some concerned parents looking for a learning experience, we'll get a close-up look at how discrimination happens and what all of us can do about it.
We'll watch as kids judge other kids in a talent show.
They can say what they like.
Or a quiz competition.
Elijah.
Seneca Falls.
Correct.
Have their parents prepared them for this?
A Latino, Mexican, whatever. Like he
Right.
could do some salsa dancing.
She's a terrorist. That's
Right.
what people think.
I think Elijah just doesn't look smart.
Those negative stereotypes impact each and every one of us.
Melissa Harris Perry is a professor of race, gender, and politics at Tulane University and an MSNBC host.
We have to give our kids the social tools for how to push back against racial bias when they experience it, because it's not a natural thing to be able to do.
Harris Perry, along with the NBC News websites The Griot and NBC Latino, will help us as we turn our hidden cameras to discrimination. First, the difficult subject of stereotyping and African American kids.
Racial stereotypes are complicated. So an African American boy might be stereotyped as being athletically talented and stereotyped as being potentially criminal or not being a very good student.
16-year-old Elijah says that last stereotype, not being good in school, is something he often feels.
When I do well in school, I do get strange reactions like, wow, I didn't expect him to get that. This one girl came up to me and we were having a conversation about different colleges, and she's like, you're black, you can get into any school you want to get into. It makes me feel like I don't belong.
That's Elijah's story in real life. Today, we've hired him to help us in our first demonstration about stereotypes. He'll pretend to be a contestant in a quiz show we're calling Smart, Smarter, Smartest. We'll invite unsuspecting teens to try out and plant two actors Lucas and Suara to discriminate against him during the competition.
So what does it mean to say, oh, he doesn't look smart?
They'll use subtle, coded language, the way Harris Perry says people talk about race in the real world. Comments like this.
People of color are difficult to work with because somehow they're not good team players. It's a lot harder to fight back against that subtle language than it is against kind of the open declaration of bias.
So what will happen when it's time to pick teams for the quiz show?
Hi, I'm Samantha Barrett.
Samantha's mother has no reason to believe her daughter would ever judge someone by the color of his skin.
She is very compassionate.
Do you think she'll stand up then and speak out in a situation where one kid is being discriminated against?
Being that she's with people she doesn't know, she may hold back a little bit, but I think push comes to shove, she probably would. I would hope she would.
Hey, I'm Sarah Greeley.
Sarah was adopted as a baby from China. Her mother says she's athletic and outgoing and aware of certain stereotypes.
She's expected to be math-oriented, or she's expected to be quiet and obedient. People say things like, well, Sarah, you're not really Asian because, you're too outgoing.
Even so, her mom doesn't know how Sarah will react to the loaded remarks today.
I really can't say what she'll do. So she'll know it, she'll understand it, and she'll see it, that's for sure.
Are you ready to see how they'll do?
We'll be watching on monitors with Rosalind Weissman, an expert on teen dynamics and consultant to schools on bullying and social justice.
I think we're so uncomfortable talking about race that we just don't talk about it at all. And what our kids get is it's bad to talk about.
Here's how the competition will work. Sarah and Samantha have been put on a team with the actors we've planted.
We need to get 2 more people to finish out your team.
Our producer says there are 3 contenders for their team: Matt, Julie, and Elijah. To help them decide, we do a round of questions out loud.
Elijah, Earth's atmosphere is mostly composed of this gas.
Nitrogen.
That is right. Okay.
We've instructed each of them to get just one question wrong.
Is it gold?
No, it is diamond. Okay.
Making them all look equally qualified.
Tuberculosis?
No, it was bubonic plague.
Virginia.
Okay, no, it's Kentucky.
Then it's decision time as we leave the kids alone, hidden cameras rolling.
So they have to pick one to eliminate. So let's.
And they all did equally the same.
All got one wrong.
What do you guys think?
Right away, the real girls say that Julie, the Asian contestant, would be a good teammate.
I think Julie answered all of them right.
And one of the actors ad-libs a line to see how they'll react.
She's also Asian, so she's probably really smart. It's true, right?
Oh.
Interesting, your daughter laughed at that.
She also went, oh, did you see that?
Yeah, here we go again.
Now they need to choose one of the boys to stay. The other will go.
It's between Matt and Elijah.
I think.
I feel like Matt might be like a better fit for our team.
Yeah, I think Elijah just doesn't look smart.
Like he doesn't look like he
oh my goodness.
cares about this.
What do you think, whoa, oh my goodness means?
I think they're shocked that that was said.
Yeah.
But both girls also laughed at the comment, nervously perhaps. And now the actors start talking about what Elijah was doing before the competition began, listening to music, something we asked him to do.
Like with the hip hop music and it was so loud.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. I mean, he could be good. He answered most of them right?
Yeah. But he had the easiest questions.
Really?
Yeah, they
didn't know this.
Oh, yeah.
The girls look increasingly uncomfortable.
He looks like he might go to inner city schools or something.
Yeah,
so he might not take AP classes. I don't know.
Wow, she's laying it on.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't even be a good team player.
Yeah.
And now a moment of truth. Who will they pick for the team?
I just know what I want. I think we should vote.
Coming up, what will they do?
Do you agree?
Wow.
Plus, a singing contest.
Just the way you are.
And different kinds of discrimination.
He could be illegal.
People think she is like a headdress. She's a terrorist.
When My Kid Would Never Do That continues.
How do I Dateline? As a correspondent,
as you can see by that.
and as a mom. How do you Dateline?
We've been watching on hidden cameras as two teens struggle with a difficult situation. They're trying to decide who they want as a teammate for a game called Smart, Smarter, Smartest.
He looks like he might go to inner city schools or something.
They don't know the kids next to them are actors we've hired to discriminate against Elijah, or that their parents are watching.
Probably wouldn't even be a good team player.
Yeah.
The girls have laughed at some of the racial stereotypes, but look uneasy, especially now, decision time.
I think I vote off Elijah.
I think I'll vote off Elijah.
Interesting that your daughter had her gut
Right.
seemed to say this is not right what they're saying.
Right, but then
she's not speaking out.
Exactly.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're taking Julie and Matt.
Julie and Matt.
Julia.
Wow.
Moms.
Wow.
It's not what these parents hoped for, but they can see what a tough spot their teens were in.
Do you think that your daughter recognized that there was racism going on here?
Yeah, but she wasn't sure. It's the laughter is definitely nervous laughter.
So what do you think happened? She recognized it for what it was.
Right, she did, and yet she's not going to like correct somebody. I mean, it's very forward to do that.
Now I go tell the girls that this isn't really a quiz show.
We're doing a show about how kids react in situations where there may be racism or discrimination going on around them.
They seem relieved to find out that the kids next to them were just acting.
Maybe that's why you were so mean about him. Oh my gosh.
And I bring in Rosalind Wiseman, our expert in teen dynamics.
What do you think stopped you from being able to say something in this moment?
Everything's just so overwhelming right now because like you're thinking you're gonna be like on a quiz show and your like mind's racing and like you're not really thinking fully.
The laughter, she says, was hiding what she really felt.
I'm kind of like nervous. I'd have like this nervous kind of laughter thing.
Sarah also wishes she'd done more to push back, and not just to please her mother.
I didn't say like, that's not okay, like you can't say that, like that's racist. So I guess like, I wouldn't be worried about what she would say, but like how I would feel about it and like how I would like carry that on into my daily life.
So what should kids do when they hear what sound like racial remarks?
What I would do in a situation like that where people are making coded messages about race is I would look them in the eye and say, what exactly do you mean by that? And let them answer.
And these parents say today's demonstration will change the way they think about stereotypes too.
I can tell you right now. Yeah.
What did you think when they said that? When they first said the smart Asian thing?
Oh, I was pissed.
The kids who go along with racial stereotyping in the scenarios that we present, it doesn't mean they're necessarily racist, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's one thing to say, I'm not racist. I don't bring up stereotypes. I don't act on stereotypes. It's another thing to say, when somebody else brings them up, I am the voice of reason that pushes back against them. And the fact is, most adults would fail that test.
Now we move from the quiz scenario to a type of discrimination that has been on the rise in the last decade.
After 9/11, we got phone calls at my house, like with threats and stuff like that.
18-year-old Kashish is a Muslim American teen, part of the first generation of kids to grow up in the post-9/11 era.
People have said weird things to me. As soon as they found out that I was like Muslim, they'd be like, oh, so you're a terrorist? Like, no.
And Kashish is not alone.
Muslim children have become increasingly victims of harassment, bullying.
Mona Malik is a social worker who has conducted surveys with Muslim American kids about discrimination. She says 80% report being harassed because of their faith.
I remember a little boy, he was so cute, and he said to me, you know, I don't really face discrimination. My friends, they really like me. They only call me a terrorist every other week.
Can get in the way of what I feel.
So Kashish, a performing arts student, will play the victim in our next scenario. To make her faith more obvious, she'll wear a headscarf, a hijab, something she usually wears only when praying. We've invited teens to be judges for a fake competition we're calling Oh Say Can You Sing? American Teen Voices. And we've planted 2 actors at the judging table to discriminate against Kashish. Our expert coaches them on how to make the scenario realistic, so suggesting they use the show's name to repeat a common false stereotype.
They're not American, they're not like us.
Will the real kids go along? Kashish hopes not.
America is a melting pot, and that's the beauty of America.
Our first judges arrive.
Hi, I'm Nell. I'm 13 years old.
Nell's father says they don't talk about discrimination a lot, but try to teach by example.
We just try and send the message by the way we act and the way we deal with people. So I'm hoping that if she sees injustice, she'll do something about it.
Hi, my name's Kyle.
Kyle's family lives in a diverse town. His dad says the high school there is full of cliques like any other.
What's the message at home?
Do unto others. If you want to be treated right, treat others right.
And if he doesn't speak up, how will you be feeling?
I have more work to do.
It's what being a parent's all about. There's always more work to do, right?
Oh, yeah, every day.
I know you'll never leave me.
The judges will watch 5 singers perform,
Oh, baby, give me one more chance.
then have to eliminate one. We tell them performing under pressure counts. Kashish gives a heartfelt performance.
I just want you close so you can stay forever.
And the next singer, Logan,
went to school to learn, girl.
will help us rig the competition by messing up on cue.
He's going to purposely forget the words.
All about love, girl. All you gotta do is repeat after me.
Now it's time to send one singer home. We leave them alone with no idea 2 of the judges are actors.
What did you think?
Both Kyle and Nell noticed Kashish's strong performance.
I just think that she was really confident with how she was singing.
confident.
And Nell points out that Logan choked under pressure.
But
Yeah.
he was a little nervous.
You could hear it in his voice.
But now the actors say they want Kashish gone.
Like back on Kashish, it is like American
Teen
voices, and like people like gonna see the headscarf. I feel like people are gonna think like she's not American.
She's a foreigner, right?
Kyle goes silent.
And I can see that he's nervous with the nail-biting situation going on there.
Nell starts out defending Kashish.
But I think she did have confidence, though.
She did have confidence.
But then seems to just go with the flow.
But like I think people think like, oh, she is like a headdress, like she's a terrorist.
They're gonna say things, and we're not gonna be able to control that.
She stuck out to you. In all honesty, to me, she stuck out.
Definitely.
Do you think that Nell realizes that this is discrimination?
I don't think she realizes that it is. I think she's trying to get along, basically.
Now a decision has to be made. Remember, just one singer has to be cut, and Logan clearly performed the worst.
I vote Kashish to go.
I'm with you.
You? You vote?
The kids look miserable, but they've gone along with the vote.
Okay. Bye, Kashish.
It's not the result these fathers expected.
Not liking it. I would like to see him speak up more about that.
But as they get ready to announce the results, the kids are whispering. Kyle knows they're about to do something that's unfair.
So how are we going to explain why we picked her? Image? I can't say that because I don't think we're racist.
He's having second thoughts.
Are you guys sure you want to pick her?
Coming up, what do they decide?
Do you want to tell us who you chose to eliminate?
Plus, will another set of kids be able to withstand our actors' pressure
Her dad could be a terrorist.
That's totally
like that's
racial
what
profiling.
people.
when Dateline continues?
You and me together through the days and nights.
We've hired a pair of actors to see what these real kids, Nell and Kyle, would do when they heard comments like this.
She's a terrorist. That's what people think.
And it looks like they've decided to vote the Muslim girl, Kashish, off the show.
Just the way it is.
I think she wanted to fit in today, and that colored where she was going.
But will they go through with it?
We can't say that other singers was better. Are you guys sure you want to pick her?
Hi, guys.
We go to the auditorium to hear the verdict.
Kyle, you want to tell us who you chose to eliminate?
We came to decision and we picked Kashish.
Kashish?
Yeah. Kashish is a lovely singer, but, it just sometimes that isn't enough.
Now I tell them what the show is really about.
This is Dateline NBC, and we're doing an episode on discrimination.
Then Rosalind and I go find out what they were thinking.
You were very easily convinced. It seemed like within a minute you
I'm pretty
were like,
impressionable. I don't know. Just kind of went with it.
In my head, I was thinking to pick Logan.
So what stopped you from speaking out?
I'm kind of a nervous person. I was thinking the words, they just didn't come out.
Yeah, I guess it kind of happens without realizing it, you know?
Exactly. No matter what your age, by the way.
So if they could do it again, what should these teens say?
I don't think it has to be this long discussion. I don't think you need to lecture the person about racism. What I would do is really focus on the person, and she's here to sing. Or, you know, that's a girl who's a student in our school. I think it takes like 5 seconds. Are you mad at yourself for not doing that?
Kind of.
Yeah.
come on in, dads.
These parents are confident their teens will do better next time.
But I really needed a wake-up call, and I got it.
Good job, sweetie.
But our singers are just getting warmed up. Our next group has 3 real kid judges, which might make it easier for them to stand up against the 2 actors. Madison is the youngest.
Hi, my name is Madison. Hi, my name is Aurora.
Aurora is an aspiring singer herself.
So if the Muslim singer just knocks it out of the park, is clearly the best performer.
I would be surprised if she did not recognize it, hands down.
So she wouldn't vote her out.
Oh, no way.
Hi, my name is Alyssa.
And Alyssa's mom says she's been telling her girl the same thing since kindergarten.
Be nice to people, they'll be nice to you. Doesn't exactly work all the time, but I'm still saying it.
They can say what they like.
Once again, Kashish sings her heart out.
Everything's gonna be all right.
While the boy next to her chokes.
All about love, girl.
So who should go home?
I have to say I'm not a big Kashish fan.
Right, I was gonna say the same thing.
Why did she have to wear that thing on her head today?
Well, you know, it's not her fault. You know, I think it's what she has, the religion.
The girls rush to point out that the hijab is not something scary, but a symbol of Kashish's faith.
Both of her parents are probably that religion.
Her dad could be a terrorist.
I mean,
That's, yeah, but that's totally that's racial profile.
There you go.
When people see the headdress, they think of terrorists. People
who think that are ignorant. She had great confidence in her voice, and personally, I thought she was one of the best ones out of the
She recognized true talent.
All that's left to do is vote.
Logan. I think Logan's up.
So it's 3 against 2.
He forgot the words.
So Kashish stays because all 3 girls held their ground.
She was just going with the best talent. You know, it didn't matter what nationality or ethnic background.
This is very exciting.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the outcome was going to be, but I'm really proud of it.
Kashish watched the deliberations backstage, and she wants these girls to know how much what they did matters.
They're saying oh, they're terrorists. People have told me that before. It's just great to have someone else stand up and say, give them a chance. They can prove you wrong. You guys said that.
You're a great singer, though.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good job.
Very good.
Coming up, another singer.
'Cause you're amazing.
Will teens resist still another type of intolerance?
He is just another illegal immigrant coming into America.
When My Kid Would Never Do That continues.
We're back in the school auditorium where teens will decide who will stay and who will go from a singing competition. They don't know this is really a demonstration about discrimination, and our new victim will be a Latino boy.
Hi, my name is Nicolas Rodriguez.
People are associating Latinos with immigrants and undocumented immigrants with criminality.
Patricia Foxon is the Associate Director for Research at the Civil Rights Group, National Council of La Raza.
What is the repercussion of that kind of discrimination to our youth?
Anxiety, depression, not doing well at school, wanting to drop out of school.
We've hired 2 new actors to play the prejudiced judges. Their job, to discriminate against Nick Rodriguez. We've asked Nick, born and raised in New Jersey, to put on an accent and play up his Hispanic roots.
Hi, my name is Nicolás Rodriguez. I'm from Parental, New Jersey.
And we've dressed Nick in a hooded sweatshirt and backward baseball cap. Typical teenage attire, but on Black or Latino boys, Boxen says it can lead to negative stereotypes.
So if you start out with, hey, did you see the way he's dressed? So from there go to, maybe he's in a gang, and from there go to, he might even be illegal. That's the way that stereotypes happen.
How will the next pair of judges react?
My name is Lauren. I'm 13 years old.
Lauren's dad says his 8th grade daughter is a kind-hearted kid who's trying to navigate the intense social pressures of middle school.
She tends to stay away from conflict, so depending on how shocked she is, she just might not say anything.
And what if she actually goes along? How will you feel?
I'd be very surprised. I mean, maybe it's more of a reflection on me on what perhaps I haven't done.
Hi, my name is Amaru.
Next to Lauren at the judging table is 13-year-old Amaru, who is part Portuguese, part African American. His mom says she's always looking for ways at home to talk about equality.
When you see something on TV or in a movie, or if you have an example that happens to be happening right in front of you, to just sort of drop in the wisdom.
And what does he say?
Well, he says, okay, Mom, I know, Mom. Enough, Mom. I got it, Mom.
Again, the judges will have to eliminate one singer. And like before, we've rigged the competition in the victim's favor, asking one contestant, Catherine, to stammer through the song.
Stand out in a crowd, but someone... Oh, baby, give me one more chance.
While Nick sings flawlessly.
When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are.
Amara's gonna like him the best right there.
You guys decide who you're gonna eliminate.
Time to deliberate. Our actors start off with an offensive remark, calling our singer Nick Pedro.
I think we're agreeing what it was, Pedro, whatever the hell his name is, just go, right?
Lauren's dad is surprised to see her giggle.
What was it,
Nick. She corrected him, though.
And Amaru is utterly confused by the suggestion that Nick should be cut.
This guy was amazing.
Yeah, but he's...
What's wrong with him?
So look at the name title, American Teen Voice. That guy's not going to go anywhere on Oh Say Can You Sing, the most patriotic show in America.
I didn't like him either, honestly.
I think he had the best voice in the... This was the guy with the hat.
As the actor ratchets things up,
He is just another illegal immigrant.
Lauren points out that just being Hispanic doesn't mean Nick's illegal.
One of these American jobs.
Thank goodness.
And Amaru tries to get the conversation back to the singing.
She lost your lyrics in the middle of the song.
The frickin' Latino guy's got to go. That's it.
Wait, are we serious?
He attempts to take control, asking Lauren what she thinks.
Who do you want eliminated?
I guess either one of them.
Okay, just choose one. Just choose one.
All right, I guess him.
Okay.
You see the effect of peer pressure, though. Lauren's buckled a little bit under the pressure.
A little quicker than I would have expected.
Why do you agree with him?
I agree because I didn't see him as the image of the American teen voice.
Thank you.
Amaru, meantime, is struggling with how to speak up.
Look.
But I don't think we're supposed to judge by him.
He's the only guy here that actually has talent.
Dude.
Wait, hold up. This is my... Let me think now.
I think he doesn't like it, but doesn't know what to say.
He's not confronting.
Just then, a producer goes in to ask the kids if they're ready.
Have you come to a unanimous decision?
No.
I think so, yeah.
And Amaru asks a question of his own.
Wait, is this like, it's like a whole entire American show is what you're like coming through as?
It's all over America. So that's why it's called American Teen Voices.
Is Amaru starting to think that Nick Rodriguez isn't American enough for the show?
No, now he's getting flipped.
Coming up, Amaru faces his moment of decision. Will he cave under pressure or stand up for what he knows is right?
Amaru, you want to say something?
Oh, yeah.
When Dateline continues.
would you vote off our teen singing contest? A girl who can't remember the words,
Out in a crowd, but
or this guy?
And when you smile.
Two actors have been using racial remarks to try to convince these kids to vote off Nick, the Latino singer. Amaru is starting to waver.
I feel that if she, if she didn't mess up, she would have been like perfect.
Remember, our fake competition is called Oh Say Can You Sing? American Teen Voices.
That guy's not gonna go anywhere on Oh Say Can You Sing?
And Amaru now seems to agree with the actors that a Latino singer doesn't fit.
I don't have anything against him. He has a great voice, and we all can agree that he does have a good voice, even if you don't want to say it. He does. The only problem is this doesn't go.
all right, here you go.
Now he's getting flipped.
So Amaru caves. His mother thinks he's just accepting an unfortunate reality.
We talk about stereotypes often. He knows that mainstream America has an image of what an American boy is.
You got this?
But as the judges wait to announce their now unanimous decision, Amaru isn't happy. He quietly appeals to the judge next to him, no idea that she's really an actress.
Look, you're Asian, I'm African-American half. What if you went up there and everybody was like, let's not pick her because she's Asian? How would you feel like that?
Then, as the actor makes one more offensive remark,
She looks like an immigrant.
Amaru is finally ready to say what he really thinks.
I actually don't think that at all, guys. He does have great talent. You know, you shouldn't view somebody as their race or anything like that.
Not only is he standing up, he physically is standing up from the table and saying, I don't think this should be a part of that.
That's good.
No, I don't even care if it's some kind of American show. He has the best talent. He has more talent than all of them.
Hi, guys.
I head to the auditorium and ask, who's going home?
What was your decision?
We liked everybody, but we were gonna send home Nicholas.
Amaru, you want to say something?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, it was them three, and I really felt like you were the best one, and you had a great voice, so.
Really?
So are you picking, you want Nick to go on?
I want Nick to go on.
Time to reveal what the show is really about.
Your parents have been watching to see how you all would react in a situation where there is very clearly discrimination going on around you.
Amaru, man.
You stood up there, buddy.
Rosalind Weissman and I go talk to the kids and tell them we know what a tough spot they were in.
It got pretty heated from what we could see. What were you feeling, Lauren?
I felt like really bad because he kept saying like mean things, and I was like, no, that's mean, but like I'm kind of like disappointed that I got so easily persuaded and stuff.
Standing up to peer pressure is hard. Amaru admits he almost didn't do it.
But then there was one last moment that hit me, and I was like, no, I can't stay down. Because another thing is my mom was always telling me, stand up for myself and other people. So, I had to. I couldn't just, let that fly by.
Did you feel like your mom was like somewhere like over your head or something?
Honestly, I heard her in my,
And was she yelling at you? Was she like, what was she doing?
She wasn't yelling at me. She was just, talking to me as if she was here with me.
Amaru had no idea that his mom was listening proudly to his every word.
Surprise. You held tough, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard me all around you.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Amaru's mom has done two things experts recommend: talking to her son with specific examples and doing it often.
For all the parents out there who say, I keep telling them the same things over and over again. Keep telling them, right?
That's right.
But Rosalind adds that parents also need to walk the walk. It's important your kids see you stand up too.
So for example, in a situation, somebody tells you a discriminatory joke and you're laughing.
You need to turn to the person and say, wow, I just laughed because I was nervous, and actually that really wasn't funny. And I need you to not say that kind of stuff around me or my kids anymore. I know that that's very uncomfortable. I know parents go, oh, I don't want to do that. But honestly, how can we expect our children to do these things if we are not willing to do them ourselves?
Coming up, a final vote.
You guys all have outstanding voices.
And an emotional moment between singer and judge.
It's okay.
When My Kid Would Never Do That continues.
We've seen how easily some teens can be swayed to go along with all kinds of discrimination, and how hard it is to push back even when they know it's wrong.
Oh, it's between.
In our final group, we meet a pair of mothers who, like all the parents, have agreed to put their kids in a potentially difficult situation because they feel strongly about tolerance and equality.
Hi, my name is Nia.
Nia's mom says her 13-year-old daughter has been bullied at school.
So she knows what it feels like to be picked on.
She does.
Do you think that she will be able to speak her mind when she sees that same scenario playing out because of race?
I think so. Now, that was my teaching to her. You be your own person.
Hi, I'm Allison.
Allison's mother is also sure her daughter will find a way to do the right thing.
Well, we're blessed to live in a very diverse neighborhood. So she's grown up with a mix of all people. And it's just expected that she would never mistreat anybody.
But I refuse to let you go.
Nia and Allison listen to the singers perform.
Hi, my name's Nicolas Rodriguez.
Again, Nick gives a standout performance,
Just the way you are.
while the others mess up a note or fake stage fright.
Pretty faces.
The deliberations begin, and Allison says her first choice to go is Jared.
Kind of felt like his voice cracked a little.
Nia singles out the girl who forgot the words.
She's pretty, but she can't be nervous. Right, if she's gonna be on live.
Then our actors start their line of attack, using the language suggested by our expert.
This guy came in with like the backwards hat, and he
Kind of ghetto-ish.
You know what I mean? And he
True,
sort
not
of
very professional.
Yeah,
Right.
you know? I feel like if you like saw him like on this poster board, people get a little confused by American Teen Voices.
like he
Right.
could do some salsa dancing or whatever. You know?
Yeah, like
Like many kids we've seen, these girls laugh at the joke, but look down at the table.
Like he could be
Like
legal.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
You know?
across the border. Come here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you know what I mean?
The girls laugh again,
I'm shocked. That's not cool, Nia.
and they're nodding in apparent agreement.
No, but I'm just saying that I agree that he's kind of, his image.
His image, definitely.
He
you
looks
know,
like-
kind of, you know,
Yeah.
a little too.
He does look ghetto. You're right.
But that's not what this is about.
Yeah.
He
A
looks
little
like
ghetto, like a gang,
and-
maybe involved in drugs. We
Right.
don't know what he's doing.
He's probably
like,
doing drugs right now.
when people.
These moms are surprised their daughters aren't leaping to defend Nick, though the girls are looking anxious.
Look at this. Oh, say, can you sing? This guy's not American. You know what I mean?
Like with the accent and everything.
I think they're listening and they're trying to apply that to what they already know and see if they can make sense of it.
Their body language says they don't like the racial remarks. And now, time to vote.
Have we all come to an
I
agreement?
think it's time to, I don't know, take a vote.
Yeah. Yes. So
I
think we've decided him.
We asked. He's gonna go.
And it's unanimous. Nick is going home.
We have to talk about this.
So you must be pretty disappointed.
I'm surprised and I'm a little confused, but yeah.
Moments later, Allison and Nia sound like they already regret the decision.
I don't know. I kind of feel uncomfortable coming across like that.
Yeah, I can tell she's being torn, but she's still going along.
Be here.
I'm not gonna come across as racist.
I'm not.
I'm sorry.
I'm not that type of person.
Hi, guys. Come to a decision.
I go to the auditorium to hear what they've decided.
It was very hard because
Very
you guys all have outstanding voices.
Allison, who did you pick to go home?
Nick.
Nick Rodriguez?
Yes.
Let me ask you something. Who did you pick before you had any other influence just by the way they sang? Allison?
Jared.
You would have picked Jared to go home?
Yeah.
And what about you, Nia?
I picked Catherine.
It's clear these girls have been seriously conflicted. So I tell them what our shoot is really about. And Rosalind and I go talk to them at the table.
How do you feel?
Really, really bad. I come from an area where it's very
diverse.
And I feel like I gave in to peer pressure. I didn't want to say that because he wasn't American. I hated how they said that. And I just feel really, really bad right now.
As for Nia, she says this experience has taught her how to stand up for herself.
Don't let people get you into things you don't want to do, because I let people do that to me, and I know it's hard, but you can get through it.
The more we talk about what happened, the more upset Allison becomes.
The thing is, you really don't feel like you're racist people, right? Right?
No.
Like
You're not.
And the reason why you're so upset is because you feel so strongly about it, right? And so I think this is really important to show, is that even people who feel so strongly about this stuff can still get caught in ways that they don't mean to do it.
Yeah, we can back up now.
We move the cameras back to let Allison compose herself. And that's when she shows us a moment of true empathy.
Can I apologize to him?
That would be great.
It was an amazing moment because she felt terrible about it. She felt embarrassed about it. But even in that moment of feeling very focused on herself, all of a sudden she realized, but as bad as this is for me, it's worse for him.
Can I give you a hug?
Sure. It's okay.
I'm really, really, really sorry.
It's okay.
I'm really not like that.
It's really hard when you're under pressure from other people and you just feel like if you're not part of the group, you're going to be left out. I can see you're not a horrible person.
Thanks.
There's a teen who's role modeling for all of us how to take responsibility and own when you've made a mistake. There are a lot of adults who could do well to look at Allison and role model from her.
Madam, how many pieces for you?
We went to visit Allison a couple of weeks later. She invited us out with a few of her friends, a diverse group who all say they know the real Allison.
I consider her like my little sister, and I love her.
And while not all the kids took a stand in our difficult tests, Melissa Harris Perry applauds each of them for aspiring to do better.
I loved all the kids in the demonstration. My feeling about all of them was, wow, what a bunch of great kids who are trying to manage the very, very difficult terrain of race in America.
So for parents, a final word of advice. Exposing children to diversity is good, but you'll need to do even more if you hope to raise kids who would never discriminate.
It's not to lecture them all the time, but to take specific opportunities that come up and make a linkage for them about here's what racism looks like, here's what discrimination looks like, so your kid can take that general concept of we believe in tolerance and acceptance to this is what it looks like and here's what I expect you to do.
You heard me all around you.
Yeah.
Natalie, I think we just heard the common thread to all these reports you've brought us, and that is to be specific when we're talking with our kids.
That's right, Lester. As a parent, it's certainly what I've learned, whether it is cheating, stranger danger, driving, or discrimination. So important to talk to your child about how to handle specific situations that might come up. And Lester, even the role-playing advice that we heard our experts say as well. Remember, this is also not a one-time conversation.
Well, this has been an eye-opening series. Thanks so much, Natalie.
Thank you.
That's all for this edition of Dateline Sunday. We'll be back again for Dateline Friday at 9 Central. And a reminder to start your day tomorrow on Today. I'm Lester Holt for Natalie and all of us at NBC News. Good night.